everyone, it's Reagan and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my November TBR. So for the month of November, I'm not gonna lie, I'm being overly ambitious. I'm gonna call it out now. I'm really gonna try to read all these books, but also, like, you never know. That being said, I do have quite a chunk of time off because Thanksgiving holiday, and I'm traveling for a whole week in this month as well, so that could be a benefit or a detriment. But I'm gonna stay positive. There's also so many new releases coming out in the month of November that I am so excited for, so for that reason, I'm hoping I can just fly through those books because I've been waiting to get my hands on them for so long. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. The first two books I'm gonna quickly talk about are books I'm currently reading. The first one is Jonathon Strange and Mr. Norrell. I've highlighted that this is my current commute book and my goal is to finish it by the end of the year. I've been saying kind of the same things about this book, but it's like a dry, British, Pride and Prejudice style book with magic. It's really funny, and like the narrator kind of makes you chuckle because you just feel like he's making fun of everyone at all times. That being said, so far I am liking it a lot. I'm interested to see kind of how it expands because I'm sure there's more drama and magic to come because I've only kind of cracked the surface with this book. But yeah, definitely on my to be read. I will hopefully get about halfway to almost finish with this book by the end of the month. From there, I have the Merciful Crow, which is the book I'm actually currently reading. I am about halfway through it, and I have to say I'm really liking it. This is a super unique YA fantasy. It just has like a really cool setting and setup for this book. This is a fantasy world that's basically organized in different castes, but each caste has its own magic and is also associated to a different bird. So the ruling class is the Phoenix class, the aristocratic class is the Swan class, guardian class is the hawk class, and like owls or scholars, things like that. All these different bird castes are kind of organized within society based on their different skills. However, the group of people that everyone kind of looks down upon is the group called the Crows, and this particular cast of people is the group that our main character belongs to. And basically the story behind the Crows being so despised is there's actually a plague that kind of runs rampant in this land. Think of it kind of like the bubonic plague in that it's very quickly spread, and the Crows are the only ones not impacted by this plague and therefore have the task and responsibility of handling the dead. So they go to villages, remove the bodies to prevent the spread of the plague. And the reason why they do this is because to be born a crow and to have this magic, it is said that they had sinned in their past life and their penance is to now serve and basically like serve the dead as they're making their way from plague to death into the next stage. So that's kind of like the setting of this book. At the beginning of the story, our main character and her crow band go to the castle and basically smuggle out a prince who they think is dead but is actually alive, and they strike a bargain to basically try to prevent the overthrow of the kingdom. It's honestly a really unique world full of like really fresh world building. So far I'm really liking it as I'm halfway through, so I'm definitely going to be finishing this very quickly this month. The book I'm going to talk about should honestly be no surprise, and it is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. This is obviously Thunderhead, but The Toll comes out in the very first week of November and I cannot wait. I have been dying for this book since I finished Thunderhead over a year ago. This series by Neil Shusterman honestly has taken over my life. It's just so clever and full of so many twists and turns. It's basically a dystopian style world where humanity has kind of cured all things that can harm them, so no one really dies anymore. Therefore, society has ordained individuals called Scythes to kind of keep the population in line, and they basically kill people. It's really complicated, it's really interesting, and the third book is probably gonna destroy me, so can't wait to read that. In the same vein, I'm also really excited for the new Keeper of the Lost City book, which comes out on the same day as The Toll, so basically I'm gonna be very busy. The next book in this series I'm particularly excited for because I feel like we're gonna start moving into the end game. While I didn't necessarily love book 6 because I'm so Team Keefe, and 2, I thought it kind of dragged a bit, I'm hoping that we kind of return to a lot of the action, friendship, and adventure in the last few books in this series. So I'm really pumped to see what happens. I personally cannot wait, and it's definitely high on my TBR to read this month. But this is just such a great middle grade series full of adventure and friendship and awkward romance, and I love it. I just love it so much. So definitely gonna read this month as well. If you guys like elven magic, you should definitely check this series out. It's long and entertaining. It's great. It's just great. Next book is a little bit of a lighter read because I feel like I'm gonna be reading a lot of emotional things this month, and that is Bringing Down the Duke. This is a book I picked up a few months ago and it just sounded really entertaining. I think this is kind of like a satiric historical romance novel, which I just love all of those things. So I'm just hoping it's charming and witty and is full of romance as well as a great historical setting. So let's see. I'm pumped about it though, so I will definitely let you know if this is good. The next book that's on my list would be my next commute book when I finish Jonathon Strange and Mr. Norrell, and that is Red Seas Under Red Skies. This is book 2 to the Gentleman Bastard series. I of course read The Lies of Locke Lamora in September and October and loved every second of it. It's just a like swashbuckling good time full of heists and friendship and just amazing maneuverings and just with a great like dark kind of Venetian inspired setting. It was just so entertaining. So I'm really intrigued to see how the story will expand and evolve through the next 2 books. So I particularly want to finish this before the end of the year as well. It's one of my goals, catch up on the series and be sad with everyone else while we wait for the 4th one to come out. But hey, that's like part of being a fantasy lover, the camaraderie and the wait, you know? Lots of waiting. And the last book that is on my TBR is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is just a super popular book. A lot of people have been talking about it. It kind of caught my eye for that reason. I've heard good things, I've heard medium things, I'm very intrigued to know where I stand. This is an adult book, which I think is really interesting, and I think it's kind of a novel about a bunch of rich intellectual people and possibly them being bad. I honestly really have no idea what this book is about, and I kind of want to leave it that way. I often try to always come up with a synopsis, but I just truly want to kind of go into this blind with no expectations. So this is on my list to try to get to this month as well, and I was able to find a signed copy in Austin, so that is also very exciting. Alrighty guys, that is my November TBR. Let me know down below some books you hope to read this month, as I would love to know, and I will see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!